Okay, so we just finished our breakfast at the Ale and Compass. It was great. Then what we did next was we went to the lobby of the Yacht Club right outside the restaurant, and I asked for a Skyliner Scavenger Hunt. They had a little trouble finding it at this location.
We are now approaching the Skyliner turn station.
And so what we're going to do this morning is we are going to try to do as much of the scavenger hunt as possible. We are trying to do it in the morning because the weather looks like today there's going to be some thunderstorms, which every day, if you look at the weather, there's always this time of year a chance of a thunderstorm. But we're going to try to get this done because the Skyliner will halt service if there is weather like a tornado. Of course, a tornado, but like a thunderstorm. If there's a tornado, please do not go up in the Skyliner, even if it is running. Okay, so now we're going to go to our first stop on the Skyliner, which is the Art of Animation. We were trying to look at things that we could do that did not require a park reservation, as we were doing this on a budget. So we are going to try to fill out our scavenger hunt, maybe stop for a snack at some of these places. So let's see how we do. Hopefully, good weather. So we're going to start our scavenger hunt at the Art of Animation, first on our list. It is 10:11. Let's see if we can successfully complete this. Sorry, Goofy, I had to get close and count. Skyliner Scavenger Hunt, and it is currently pouring. There was a rumble of thunder, so we just finished up at the Pop Century. Not sure if we're going to be able to get on the Skyliner due to the weather, but we might go to the main lobby building at the Pop Century for a minute and wait it out. Okay, if you notice, we might not be at a Skyliner Resort right now. Unfortunately, it started raining and thundering so hard that, as we predicted might happen, the Skyliner stopped running. So when that happens, they do have buses come in. So we were able to take a bus to Epcot. We could either have done the MGM or the Hollywood Studios or Epcot. So we got off at Epcot, which thank goodness it is a covered portico while we wait for the bus that's going to take us to the Riviera. So we're doing our next stop. We're going to do the Riviera right now and hopefully take in some of the beauty. So we're at the Bar Riva. We're on our scavenger hunt and we're deciding to take a stop, and we had plans ahead of time to eat here as well. So the timing worked out. It looks like it stopped raining, but we are almost done with our scavenger here. But we're going to grab something to eat and order a couple of drinks. So we just finished up our lunch at Bar Riva, had an amazing time, great bartender service, met some nice people. I had the seasonal flatbread, which was decent. I had broccolini, it had a little bit of breadcrumbs on top, which were different. as Disney pizza goes, I thought the crust was really good. It had a good char on the bottom, but I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't my favorite for flavors. And Brian had the burger with fries. And Brian, what did you give that? So he gave it a 5, no, an 8. Sorry, 5 plus 3 is 8. He's giving me hand signals right now. I liked my drink very much. I'll give that an 8.5. And Brian found out that his is lemonade. He's given his like a lemon base, and he does not like lemon, but he drank the whole thing. I think the carousel probably bounced it a little bit, and he gave it a 7. So now we're going to continue and finish up our Skyliner Scavenger Hunt here, taking a little bit more of the resort before we do our Caribbean beach stop. Of 3, we're going to finish our scavenger hunt this afternoon doing the Caribbean beach. Okay, it's 3:10 and we've finished up here at the Caribbean beach with our Skyliner Resorts scavenger hunt for the resorts that are actually on this end of the Skyliner. And we're gonna go back to our resort, maybe go in the pool while it's not raining. And then tonight we'll finish up with the Skyliner resorts that are on the BoardWalk area. Okay, catch you later. Okay, we're heading to the BoardWalk. We're gonna go finish our scavenger crawl hunt. We actually have 3 more resorts: the Yacht, the beach, and the BoardWalk. Not sure which order. I think we're gonna go maybe to the Yacht first and see if we can get this finished up and have some bites to eat and some drinks and just have a great night. What is the name of the restaurant that uses a whole can of whipped cream? Okay, this has been such hard work. So we just finished up the Yacht and Beach portion of our scavenger hunt. Spoiler alert, you're mostly at the beach. But we wanted to come over to the Yacht Club because we wanted to get a light dinner. And we are at the Crew Cup Lounge. And we're gonna get a couple small things to eat, maybe some type of beverage. And then we will finish up our BoardWalk scavenger hunt at the BoardWalk. Our drinks just got here and I got the midnight sale for $16. It is Herradura Reposado Tequila, Kahlua, Vanilla Bean, Paste Espresso, and Cinnamon. And our lovely, lovely server told me I need to smell it first before I drink it. It smells delicious. Now, I'm not someone who really caught on to the whole espresso martini bandwagon. It's only in the last year or so that I've gotten into cold coffee, and I'm a big cold brew fan now. And usually I just feel like something totally different taste palette when I'm having a cocktail, so let's give it a try. It's really good. It's really good. So bartender got me another. No, it's not bitter. It's not extra creamy either. They did put 4. I had to count for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the espresso beans on top, which is nice. It's really smooth, and I think I love it. Now Brian got the old fashioned, the Whistle Pig old fashioned, and that came with Whistle Pig 10-year Angus syrup bitters, simple syrup, and candied bacon, and that was $25. So we kind of already dove into our charcuterie and cheese board. This comes with prosciutto ham, the calabrese salami, the point raised blue cheese, the Mount Ham, which is like a brie, and the conch, which is like closest to describe it like a cheddar, but as our server described it, it just kind of melts away in your mouth. Then we have some sourdough bread and a cracker, some apricots, honey, and 2 types of mustard, and it's delicious so far. So we just finished up our charcuterie. It was excellent. And I just brought out our prime rib sliders. We asked them to stall it and to have it come out a little bit after charcuterie. It comes on onion roll. It has an onion relish. It has a house-made aioli, and it also comes with the house-made chips. I'm really excited about trying these. So let's see how they are. Okay. All right, guys, so we finished our meal here at the Crew Cup, and we had the prime rib sliders, and I couldn't read what Brian's reaction was when he was eating them, how he felt about them. I love them. I thought they were everything a prime rib slider was supposed to be in my mind. The onion roll was really fresh. What they called an onion relish was really more sauteed onions and red peppers, and those were soft and they were cooked well. They weren't caramelized, but they still had good flavor. And then the aioli, the garlic aioli horseradish aioli was delicious. And it came with house-made chips, which were crunchy and great. I dipped mine in the aioli. It was $22 for this, and actually 21, and it was only 2 sliders, but they were filled really well. And having just had the charcuterie, I thought it was more than enough. Brian, when I got his opinion out of him, he at first felt like, there was such a build-up. We had heard great things about these prime rib sliders that he maybe felt a little, not let down, but he just kind of was like, underwhelmed maybe a little bit. But then he was thinking about it, and he was like, well, what was I expecting it to be? And he ultimately settled on an 8.5. So I gave it a 9. He gave it an 8.5. Overall, though, we loved it here. It was our first time here. I think we've been longtime lounge favorites, fans. Feel like you can get a good bang of your Disney dollar coming to a lounge. And this one was a particularly great one because it had a lot of seating and it was comfortable. The ambiance was great. So even with kids, you can bring the kids to the lounges. It's not like a dive bar, even though dive bars can be fun too, but maybe not for the kids. But I think that you should definitely check this place out. And they have desserts too. They share the kitchen with the Yacht Steakhouse, which is excellent if you haven't tried that. And she did have a few dessert offerings that sounded great, but we're going to head on to the BoardWalk and see what we can get into there. So we're at the BoardWalk. We're outside Atlantic Dance, which I have not been to since Brian and my first trip together when we were dating. Now this is back in 2000, but I had read a book on Disney for couples, and there's a little balcony there that was recommended that you could go to and stand outside for a romantic spot. I'm not sure if you can still get out there. Again, Atlantic Dance is not, I have not frequented it since back then, but it is open at 8 o'clock at least tonight. So we'll see if we get our dancing shoes on. Probably won't, but we'll see. All right, let's do our scavenger hunt. We are victorious, with the exception of one that we forgot. But we're gonna go back now to the Skyliner near the Caribbean beach and get it, right, Brian? But we did it. I think it was worth it. If you're gonna have a day that's not at the park, or maybe the day that you get to your hotel, you know, that first half day, it's a great opportunity if you're on the Skyliner route, one of those resorts, to check out your resort with maybe a few others. You don't have to do the whole thing if you don't want. We found it fun. It gave us an opportunity to see some things that we haven't gotten to see, as we have not yet stayed at the Art of Animation or the Riviera. So I recommend it. So if you guys have any other suggestions of things to do on a non-park day, something else related to a scavenger hunt on the Disney property, let us know. We're always excited to find those unusual new things that we can do together to have fun. So we are at the Abracadabra Bar. That's our first time coming here. Sitting at the bar, I got the Collins Double, which is Cayman's Old Tom Gin, homemade sweet and sour mix, and the soda water. Ryan got the Mixture on the Rocks. That's a bourbon, and it's really cool. It's a very cool old-timey magician's theme lounge with details down to the wallpaper. There's lots of little Easter eggs hidden on the shelves. It's right on the boardwalk. You'd come out of the lobby and go down on the main boardwalk area, and it's right next door to Flying Fish. So you could probably just walk past it and not even really notice it, but it's got a nice little awning outside. It's very cool. And again, as the lounge goes, it's got decent seating inside. So we went to the Cake Bake Shop, counter service bakery, and it was really hard to decide what I wanted to get. There was a line outdoors, which seems to be the norm. There was yesterday as well. It was earlier in the day yesterday, and there was a line, and we went now probably around 8:15. And there was a line, but I ended up getting the key lime pie, which is a custard with key lime zest and juice, and real whipped cream with a graham cracker crust and some key lime zest on top. So I'm just gonna dig in here and get some. I can break the fork. Let's see. So right now I'm getting mostly whipped cream, but I tried to go in deep, and I got some of that key lime custard, and now I've got some of the graham cracker on there too. So I know there's key lime custard in there. I can taste the key lime. It's not that like puckering lip key lime yet. I'm gonna give it one more bite. I feel like it's mostly whipped cream at this point. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the way that it is put in this cup versus the pie, but when you think of like a key lime pie, you think of like thick custard and then a little bit of whipped cream on top. This seems to be mostly whipped cream, and I think this was $12. It's good, don't get me wrong, but I'm mostly getting whipped cream. I think for this price, I would have wanted more key lime. So I would say I would try something else, unless maybe I just got a bad scoop. But like I said, it feels like, so this cup is about at least 3 inches deep, and I feel like 2.5 inches of that is at least the whipped cream.
All right, so I went with the Southern style caramel cake. This was $22. I can't believe I spent $22, but when I read it, I pretty much needed to have it. So it's a buttermilk cake. It's a 6-layer buttermilk cake that has a Madagascar vanilla bean syrup, and then they have a homemade brown sugar caramel that they had on here. Now, I didn't know it had gold glitter on here. I could have done without that, but other than that, we're gonna see if this was worth $22. Let's go in here. So it's not a light cake. It's good. It's really good. It's not overly sweet. I thought it might be when I was looking at it, but it's not overly sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely sweet, but it's not sickly sweet. But I think there's a real good balance of flavors here. The cake's a good consistency, and the caramel's really good. So I like it. $22 worth, maybe not, but we were here. It's a limited cake, so they won't have it forever. So it was either that or ice cream next door, and we have good ice cream at home. So I went with this one, and I think I'm good with it.